At the age of 85, Martha Patricia continues to lead a busy and active life, destroying the usual ideas about age. What attracts the most attention is not her appearance, but her ease of movement, energy reserve, and sincere desire to stay involved in what is happening. It seems that the years don't dictate to her how to live. Her example shows that well-being largely depends on the habits that a person maintains on a daily basis. Martha does not seek to stop time, does not make youth the main goal, and does not perceive aging as a constant struggle. It is thanks to this attitude that she manages to remain cheerful, active, and enjoying life even decades later. Watch the video to the end, and we will reveal her main secrets of longevity. So, let's get started. The first key element of her lifestyle is regular activity outside the home. She regularly goes outdoors, moves a lot, and constantly changes the environment. At first glance, this habit seems quite common, but its influence is much deeper than it might seem. When a person stays in the same confined space for a long time, his perception gradually becomes less broad. The brain receives significantly fewer unusual signals, which reduces the level of internal engagement over time. Everything happens differently with Martha. Her daily life is not limited to the walls of the house. She constantly interacts with the environment, sunlight, sounds, movement, and an ever-changing atmosphere. This helps to maintain not only good physical fitness, but also high flexibility of thinking. That's because the brain needs a constant influx of new experiences. Even small changes in the usual path, environment, or daily activities make it actively function. This is where another important result arises. The body and the brain begin to act as a single whole. Regular workouts are another significant part of her life. Moreover, we are not talking about episodic exercises under the mood or random movement, but about a constant habit that is firmly embedded in the daily routine. She works out at home without creating special conditions, without waiting for the right time, and without having internal arguments about whether to postpone the workout for later. It is this approach that completely changes the attitude towards classes. The separation between sports and daily activities is gradually disappearing. Activity is no longer perceived as a separate event that requires preparation and a special attitude. It organically becomes a part of an ordinary day, as familiar as cooking or tidying up. Over the years, this becomes even more valuable because people increasingly want to choose the easiest way, to postpone things, spend less effort, and avoid additional stress. Home-based activities practically eliminate such obstacles. There is no need to go anywhere, prepare for a long time, overcome external difficulties, or change the familiar environment. A separate part of her activity complex is exercising with small dumbbells. However, even here, the goal is not at all about sports records or a constant increase in workload. She chooses light strength exercises to keep her muscles toned, maintain coordination of movements, and overall physical endurance. This approach is not aimed at gaining muscle mass, but at ensuring that the body can easily cope with the usual daily tasks for many years. Moderate strength training, performed regularly, is especially valuable after the age of 80. They help to lose muscle tissue more slowly, help maintain bone strength, improve balance, and reduce the likelihood of falls, which often become a serious problem in old age. But in Martha's story, the principle itself is even more important. She does not allow her body to gradually lose its strength and habit of movement. It is interesting that combining homework and exercises with dumbbells forms not just a complex of physical activity, but a whole system of maintaining independence. She doesn't practice for the sake of appearance or athletic performance. The main goal is to remain independent and handle everyday tasks with confidence. But one of the most important and often underestimated secrets of her lifestyle remains constant communication with people. She does not limit herself to loneliness and does not refuse contact with others. On the contrary, she talks regularly, maintains relationships, and exchanges thoughts and emotions. It became an integral part of her daily life. The fact is that lack of communication is considered one of the factors that can accelerate the aging process, even if a person remains physically active. When live conversations gradually disappear, life becomes more monotonous, emotional saturation decreases, and interest in new events and impressions decreases. Over time, this affects not only the mood, but also the desire to be active and involved in what is happening. Things are different for Martha. She continues to communicate a lot, get to know people, and maintain warm relations. Thanks to this, her life remains filled with emotions, new impressions, and constant mental activity. If we consider all these components as a whole, it becomes obvious that her well-being cannot be explained by any one circumstance. Everything is based on a holistic system of daily habits. Physical activity strengthens the body, staying outdoors helps to maintain clarity of thinking, and regular communication supports inner balance. It is the combination of these factors that forms the result that others perceive as a surprisingly youthful state. Martha's mechanism works because it is based on a different approach. She doesn't build her life around the number in her passport. She makes constant action the main thing. As long as a person acts, he continues to be a full participant in his own life. The story of Martha Patricia vividly confirms this idea. Aging is determined not only by the number of years lived. It is much more important whether a person continues to actively live or gradually becomes a bystander. And probably the most important conclusion here is much simpler than it might seem. The point is not to try to stop the passage of time, but to prevent everyday life from narrowing so much that there will no longer be room for activity, communication, and sincere interest in the world around us. Friends, what do you think of this woman? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video, which has now appeared on your screen.